Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So my INES RAYA build is finally ready. This is for mobbing especially. So you have 400% dungeons and also stage 20 of the Voide Erosion Purge. Now I have had a great time with building INES RAYA because I did not expect her to be this good. I thought she would be good but not this good. In fact, she is so good now that I think she is now going to become my primary Descendant for mobbing. 400% dungeons, especially farming the cores from stage 20 of the Voide Erosion Purge. I'll be using her. I'm also working on the Defiler build because we need to farm the Void metal fragments from that guy to unlock the cores on the other guns. But this one is made specially as a comfortable build for farming 400% and all the other mobbing related content. Now, if you've seen my videos before, I don't like to min-max everything. I like to have a comfortable build with enough survivabilities, defense, health, etc., cooldown, range, things like that. So I've tried to work with that. My one or two mods will be a little different compared to the other content creators perhaps, and the roles on my reactor are also maybe a little different, but it works very well. I've tested this, like I said, on stage 20 and on the Forgotten's 100% dungeons. I've lost count how many times I did that to test this build. And I'm getting some great results with the solo times as well. Anyway, so what I'm going to do with this video is go over briefly the abilities, how they work. There's an important topic about the MP and the crit hit rate for INES RAYA, and also the range, how the range works. Range has two purposes in this Descendants kit basically. So I'll go over all of that, and then at the end of the video, I'll leave you with a run of stage 20 of the Voide Erosion Purge that I did earlier with this exact build. In fact, missing one mod because I have left one slot open as a flexible slot for your preferred playstyle. Anyway, so first thing, let's have a look at her abilities. Let's summon a Vulgus, Order of Truth, level 100. Just one for now. And at the moment, I am on a blank mod page, nothing here, just the external components, reactor, gun, etc. Now the gun we are using is the Secret Garden. I'll briefly show you the build as well later on. I've already covered Secret Garden multiple times. This is the normal gun. I have a second one with the core unlocked. I'm not using that one here. This is just a standard. Anyway, so first up we have, if you look at her four abilities, her Q and C, the first two abilities, they use MP. So you can see those are available. The third and fourth, V and Z, they are not available because they use something called plasma, which is the custom resource, the second bar at the bottom. So you need to use the first and second abilities to generate plasma for the third and fourth abilities, and then you can use those abilities. Okay, so first up, what we do is the chain lightning. Now this hits the enemies in front with the chain lightning, and then it bounces between them. If there's no other enemy, it bounces between INES and the enemy 7 times. Okay, so let's see if we can keep count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 times back and forth does some damage. Okay, and it also moves at a fast 10,000 unit speed, whatever the unit is. So that is the first ability. Now, first and third abilities are singular. Second and fourth abilities are tech. Okay. Now the second ability, she uses her current coils and things like that and does damage to nearby enemies. If they already had damage from, let's say, the first abilities, they take more damage. And yeah, basically you do crit damage and things like that. Okay, so next we have the third ability. Let's get the custom resource. And basically what she does is she charges with her hand and unleashes a powerful electricity burst in front of her. See, big damage without any mods. And the fourth ability is a snare hunter. So if she drops this within this circle, she does damage, and also she gets a movement speed. Okay. So enemies within this will take damage and she can move a little faster. So if you lower the cooldown for your fourth ability, you can use her fourth regularly and get a speed boost and run through dungeons faster. Okay, now the preferred mod, Transcendent Mod for her, is the Time of the Hunting Horse. This is the one that you need. Don't worry about the other one. The other one has some roles, but at the moment this is by far the best one. And what this does is it changes the first and third abilities into tech. So all 4 abilities are now electric and tech. So you can use the same reactor and get the benefit on all 4 abilities. Also changes the first ability slightly. Now you get 3 stacks of these chain currents basically, and they lower the bouncing. So if you remember, we had 7 bounces, it drops down to 4. However, you get 3 stacks and also it does more damage. Okay, so what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's also slower, the electricity bouncing back and forth. It is a little slower. Okay, so once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, so that is the change here. Second ability is the same. The third ability, instead of using her hand to charge and drop the electricity burst, she crouches, charges, and then leaps and dashes forward, and then does a somersault and does damage. So she goes through the enemies, so she does pierce damage going through enemies, and then at the end, explosive damage. So like this, and boom. Okay, again, without any mods, we are doing 1,000,000 damage. So those are the 4 abilities, and the 4th ability is still the same. Now, let's get the Vulgus out and start on. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the crit hit rate issue. So with her ability, if she has MP, if you see here, where does it say MP? So if you basically, the more MP you have, skill critical hit increases as MP increases. Okay, so if you have full MP, you get the most crit damage. Okay, now by default, without any mods, as you can see here, I don't have crit rate on the reactor, etc. And the gun doesn't give us crit rate. What we have here is 44.7 crit rate just with the components. Now I have a sensor here. This is the Venom Essence. This is the one with the most MP that I had, 157. Now if we remove this, that 44 should drop down to 34. Big drop here. So the more MP you have, the better you'll do. So let's find something with lower MP. This one's 150. This has 130. Okay, let's 130. This will give us 42.95. So not a huge difference, as you can see, with like 157 and 130 isn't a big difference. So it is important, but not as important as you may have thought. So if we put this back here, we get our 44.7. Crit rate is 1.992. Now, for crit rate, we have 4 well-known mods, but we don't really need to use all 4 of them. So you have frontlines, emergency measures, skill concentration, skill insight. So let's start with insight and put concentration, and we'll leave this one here because even with just the insight mod, we are hitting 96.294. Okay, we do want more crit damage. Sorry, so we will use frontlines. Now frontlines gives more crit damage, and emergency measures gives more crit rate. Okay, so we use the frontlines. Now, if we have a look, we have maxed out the crit rate, and we are at 4.692 times crit damage. Okay, pretty good. Now, this is, you might be saying that that's fine, crit. Now, the issue arises if you use any mods where it reduces your max AP. Now, the best cooldown mod in the game is MP conversion. As you can see here, 36.5% reduction in the cooldown, and max MP is also reduced by 15%. So if you see here, we have 457 max MP. And if we put cooldown MP conversion, what we get is now 388, and over here we are down to 97.845. Down, when I say down, is still almost 100, 97. We can live with that. Okay. If you are by chance annoyed that it is not 100% and you want it to be 100%, you can do a few things. You can, let's actually put one of these here. You can put the 15% that you lost here, you can get that back. There are 2 mods here, a blue mod and a purple mod. Max MP. You have Agony, which is a purple mod, 8.5% MP. This should be enough to take it to 100. You'll also get some defense. And you also have Enlightenment, 15.2%. And this will comfortably give you back your 100% crit rate. Okay, and the other one we were showing was agony. So if we put agony over here, we get some defense, and we are also back to 100% crit rate. Okay, now that is well and good, but the less than little over 2% crit rate isn't bothering me personally. So I have other suggestions for you. I'll come back to that. Let me show you the other things that we need. So we need more cooldown. So we have our trusty old nimble fingers. We put that here. We need some power. So we'll use the focus mods to get focus on electric. We'll get some cooldown with this as well. Focus on toxic. Okay, and we'll put some health here. Increased health so that we are not glass cannon. And now let's talk about the range. Now range is very important because range has two roles here. First up, if you saw the snare hunter, the ring, the snare that we dropped. So let's do that again. Over here, let's stand in the same spot so you can see the difference. So I'll hit this Vulgus, and you can see the range of the circle. It's at that black line in front of us. Okay. There's quite a lot of duration there. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll put a range mode here. Range. Okay. Now we'll drop the thing again, same spot. Notice the range of the circle here. Okay, it's much bigger. Now, what I have done, because this is where the reactor comes into play, I have used a reactor with crit hit damage and range. And also over in the inversion reinforcement, I'm using the RK boost, which also gives us cooldown reduction and speed and range increase modifier. With this quantum domain, whenever you use a skill, it increases your range and skill power a little bit, 15 stacks. So over here you'll see where it says 9, that is the quantum thing, whatever it was, to quantum dimension. So with all of that, we are increasing our range to 1.246. Now the max range for the snare hunter here is 200% over here, max expandable range. You can see continuous damage range 7.5 is gone up to 16.8. That is beyond the max. 200% would be 15. So we have taken it beyond that. Do we need to? Not for range purposes, but remember that first skill bouncing back and forth? We were down to 4 after using the Transcendent Mod. So let's see how many we have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Was it 6 or 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6. Initially it was 7, we got 6 now. Okay, so that is the benefit of range. Like you can add a little more range if you want, and you might get 7 out of that. If you wanted a little more damage, it will bounce a bit more enemies, it will bounce around, do a little more damage. We are doing like 1,000,000 damage per hit, I think. 914,000. So it'll bounce one more time, one more hit of 1,000,000. That would be not a bad thing to have. Now, with all of this, we have one extra slot that we can use for something else. Now, like we discussed the range, let's actually put one more range mod here. Amplification control. Let's see if we get to 7. I did test earlier. I think we get to 7 with this. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. We do get 7. So we get 7 here. So we are back to where we started before we put the mod. We are getting 3 stacks. We are doing more damage, and we still have the 7 bouncing lightning thing. So that is all good if you wanted that. Okay. Besides this, you can also use something called Potent Collector. Yeah. So what this does is when defeating an enemy, instantly recovers 12.2% of custom resources at a 17% chance. So if you put this, your custom resource, you'll gain that faster, especially when you're going into 400% dungeons. So what this will do is it'll have your fourth ability up all the time. And I can't really demonstrate that properly here in the lab because the enemy isn't dying as such. So I can't really show you how quickly it generates, but this will help you with your fourth ability, because not only are you using it to do damage, but you're also using it to get a speed boost. So every time you drop the fourth, you get a speed boost. So this is normal speed. This is the speed boost. Okay. So you get a decent speed boost. You keep dropping your fourth. You lower the cooldowns. Our cooldowns are pretty good as well. So we'll have that as well. And with that potent collector, you'll have enough of the custom resource to have the portability available to you as soon as the cooldown is done. Now with this, these two mods here for cooldown, we have brought it down to 7.7. Now the MP conversion, this is by far the best cooldown mod. You can have some cooldown on your reactor. You can use two pieces from the hunter set, the one you get in the Voide vessel. That will give you, I think, 4% cooldown, but nothing will compare to this. If you want to replace this, there's only one other mod, and that with all the others, like for example, time distribution, this is 14.3, this is 36.5. If you put this here, you put all the cooldown stuff on the reactor, on the external components, you still not match this. So this is by far the best option. So these two mods for cooldown, these two from the focus mods, this is the best you can get with the cooldown. If you've seen my other builds with Freyna and other people, I tend to put a cooldown on my reactor. This time I went with range because I wanted to maximize range. So potent collector is one option for you to kill the vulgus. Okay, so potent collector is one option. Range, I showed you the amplification one. You can use this one if you want. You can use this as well if you wanted a little bit of shield, but that's not necessary. If you want more HP, we have 10k health and 10k defense. So you can use either, let's say something like stamina. So this will take you to about 15,000 HP, very comfortable, and you'll also get skill duration increase. You can also go with iron defense. So this will give you skill power modifier, so 12.7% and another 90% defense, 19,000 defense. Although I would recommend you invest more in the HP. You can also go with like a proper HP mod, something like HP amplification. This will give you even more HP, 18,000. They should be very comfortable now. Again, the stage 20 can be hectic, so you may need a little more. And what else? There are plenty of options here. So let me actually show you. If you want, let's say in the stage 20, that is the order of truth in there on stage 20 of the void erosion, the ones that do toxic damage. So you can put like a toxic antibody here. So you'll have a lot of toxic resistance. I have some on the processor here as well. So combine that, you'll get like 7,000 toxic resistance. That will have, because you have some of those crazy ones that explode and do a lot of damage. So you can, save yourself with that. Besides this, I've already, you can see, modded this with multiple things to make sure we have flexibility. You can choose which ones you want to use, and you don't have to do all 4 of these. I'm showing you all the options so you can choose whichever you like. And of course, we are going to bring back the other crit mod, because that is also an option which we dismissed earlier. But critical hit damage, we can get a little bit with emergency measures. We'll get 64% crit rate, which we don't need. We only need like 2 point something. But critical hit damage, we'll get an increase to this. So if you see here, we have 4.692. If we put the emergency measures, they should take it over 5.107 times, 100% crit rate and 5 times crit damage. So you could just simply go for this one if you wanted to do more power. So yeah, I think I've showed you all the options that you can use here. I mean, there are more obviously, but you can get more custom resource with potent mod. This would be my recommendation. Or you can use the range mod, amplification control. This would be also a good one. You can make yourself more tanky with spear and shield with the defense, or you can go with iron defense for skill power modifier, battle of stamina for more HP, or just simple HP amplification to just make yourself very, very strong. Yeah, so you have plenty of options. Let's see if there's anything else that I forgot to mention. You can also use dangerous ambush for like Colossus and stuff. I will make a separate video. I am thinking this will be very handy against the Colossus. You don't really need to worry about MP collection and all of that, because you only need it for the first two abilities and they don't use a lot. Also, the way you play INES is you spam the 1 a lot and 4, and occasionally use the second ability. Third one, occasionally, again, if you need to go in a straight line and clear enemies. But yeah, basically, that is the build. Hopefully, I covered everything. And yeah, also external components. So Reactor, like I mentioned, I'm using crit damage and range. This is like the best option I think for my build, because I wanted to get those extra bounces with the range. And cooldown, any more cooldown did not seem necessary because I did not find a situation where I was pressing the button and my skills were not up. The cooldowns that we are getting here, 1.3 seconds here, 3.9 here, 2.6 here, and 7.7 for the stacks. This is pretty good because our duration is 10.6. So I did not feel like I was not at the right cooldown. So I used it instead with range. Also the reactor that you get, because the cooldown reactor I got was only this one here with the purple crit hit damage. I wanted more crit damage. So this was the other one I found. So I went with range. I think this is a better build. And for the external components, you can go with the skills with the Slayer set, but keep in mind you have to get max MP here. That is the main thing you have to worry about. The rest of it, I showed you all the options. Let's say your health is a little lower, you can use the HP amplification or the defense thing. So if you can get a full Slayer set with all the nice rolls, then yeah, go for it. You'll get more power. But I have done the stage 20 of Voide Erosion Purge with this setup, and I did not die once. So yeah, I don't really need it. But if you want to like max out everything, then you can go with the Slayer set. Max MP here is a 157, MP recovery in combat, MP recovery out of combat, HP. Then we have MP recovery modifier, and on this one, try to get toxin resistance. This would be handy against stage 20 of the Voide Erosion Purge. All right, so that is the build here. Let me know what you think, and I'll leave you with a look at the Voide Erosion Purge, and I want to commentate over that, so I'll put some music, because by the way, she's also kind of annoying. Ines, if you remember when we first played the beta back in September 22, BS I used to say, oh, so annoying, so annoying. She does the same. So I keep her muted and I just run the dungeons without the audio. So yeah, I'll put some music and let me know what you think. And thank you for watching. See you soon, hopefully, with the Defiler build, because that is my next target. I've completed the Void Purge. I've done the Void Vessel. We've done a lot of times. And of course, all the other things we've built and farmed and built the INES as well. So yeah, that is the only thing remaining. So we can get started with farming the Void metal fragments and then unlocking the cores of the guns.